I'm in one of those airy moods today. So a bit scattered. We have a full moon coming up, a super moon, so no wonder I'm a bit scattered. So let's let's come onto our mats and have available what you need for your practice. Blocks, footstool, low chair, be near a wall. Anything that helps you when you need to bring the earth towards you, or find something solid or stable on which you can rest a hand for balance, for support. I embrace the use of props, so make sure you have them available. I'm really scatty today. You'll know why in a moment. So we have a full moon coming up tomorrow, and we really are, this full moon is in Libra, which is the element that it's most connected to is air, Vayu. And air is associated with the heart chakra, Anahata, the heart space. So as you know, me being Vata Pitta means that this is the season when I'm going to get a little bit in my head, a little bit like this. So our practice, this practice is going to be really something for me, but I'm going to do it because it will help us to move in harmony with the seasons. I'll just need to hold back a little bit sometimes and ground myself. So our mudra for today is going to be Garuda Mudra. Garuda means eagle. So let's bring the left hand closest to the heart and right hand in front and cross at the wrist, and then wrap the thumbs around each other. So you're creating wings. Here you go. There we go, wings. Eagle wings here to the heart. And this gesture enables us to be expansive with our energy, but also then to bring us back into balance. So this sense of balance by extending our hands and really extending through and opening up all of the elements here in our fingers, we can come into balance. So we're going to try and use our mudra today to make sure that each breath we take brings our body back into balance. The Libra full moon obviously is represented by the scales of justice. The theme most aligned with this moon is healing and balance. So through healing, we come into balance. So where our emotions may feel amplified, or where we may feel exposed and vulnerable in our emotions, then this Garuda Mudra is also helps to protect our sense of vulnerability. Closing your eyes. Grounding here for a few moments by connecting with the points of your body that are rested on the earth, through your feet, your sit bones, your legs, the root of your spine. Feeling a sense of equanimity wash over you. And as you inhale, begin to bring a sense of equal count to the in and exhale. So the in breath, it might be you're breathing in for the count of 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're also breathing out for the count of 3, 4, 5, 6. Whatever you choose, we're all going to have different lung capacity depending on how often we practice pranayama, but also in terms of our lung health. Or our habits. Most of us tend to constrict our breathing naturally. Opening up the lungs here. And at the top and the bottom of each inhale, exhale, you will pause momentarily. That's the natural place of pause. In that moment of stillness, turiya, silence. And then the breath and the sound of the breath flowing through you. Three more breaths here, and you'll notice how your energy is beginning to transform already. This moment of pause, this moment of coming into synchronicity with the cycles of nature, the cycles of your breath. Your final count of breath here, and then release and return to your natural rhythm. Let's bring your hands together in Namaskar at the heart. And today, for your Namaskar, I'm going to ask you to change it into Anjali. So Anjali is where it looks like a Namaskar, but your palms are softly parted here. So you might be able to see a little space in between your palms. So it looks like a bud. So Namaskar is when everything is pressed firmly together. Anjali is when the fingers are together, the thumbs are together, but there's a space between the palms, like a bud, ready to open. Let's chant Om 3 times to welcome us. Inhaling fully. And for each Om today, I invite you to dedicate it to the moon, the sun, and Venus. Take a full breath in. Om. 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 Allow your fingers to part, creating a Padma Mudra, the lotus flower. So little fingers and thumbs are still connected, the heels of the hands are connected, but everything else is opened up. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. Sat Sri Akal. Welcome. Thank you, yogis. So for our practice, we're going to be really working on the heart energy, on Anahata. And Anahata, the unstruck sound at the heart. This is where we may be hiding our true self, where we may be protecting our vulnerabilities, our insecurities, our vulnerable emotions. And today we're going to allow them to spring forth, which allow and welcome the full moon light to open up and illuminate all that we are hiding from ourselves, from our loved ones, from the world. So through this process of identifying the cracks that reveal the depth of our characters, the depth of who we are as individuals, we can move into a place of healing with those around us and seek harmony in our relationships. So let's take a moment here, and I'm going to ask us to do some Sufi circles. So Sufi circles, if you're sitting on a block, you might want to remove it because it feels a little uncomfortable. A blanket. So we start the movement at the tailbone. So you can feel your tailbone sort of connected with the earth here. So start the movement at the base of the spine and begin to circle all the way through the length of your spine. And so you might, and ideally placing your hands on your knees will help you. So let's take big circles to start with. Or let's go over to the right. And then make those circles smaller, smaller still, until you come to a very subtle circle and then softness. And then let's go around to the other side. So now I'm going over to my left and starting with these bigger circles all the way through the length of the spine. And then let's begin to make those Sufi circles a little bit smaller. Smaller still, until we come to stillness. Take a moment here, left hand on the earth, inhale, right hand up and over. And if you want to come into a Vayu Mudra, fold in the index and bring your thumb to the index knuckle. That's a Vayu Mudra for the air element. Inhale through center, reach up and over. Let's flow. So we really are going to be flowing a lot here today in our practice, creating this sense of movement. And then when you've done your last one over to the right, come back to center. Take a moment here. Let's bring our hands in the bud at our heart. Take a moment. And then let's cross into Garuda Mudra, Eagle Mudra. Inhale to reach up. Exhale back to your heart. And if you want to flow with your fingers, please do. Exhaling to rise up. Inhaling to rise up and exhaling to ground down towards the earth. And perhaps thinking about what it is you want to lift up. What aspects of yourself that you have felt you've not been able to give voice to shine a light upon, to release and express. And how will you do that? How will you find the fiery energy of Aries to come? We're in this moment before that in a place of compassion and healing. How can you create that sense of well-being and sense of safety for yourself so that you can, from a place of love and compassion, express yourself so that you feel empowered, inspired? And then let's stop when we've reached up. Exhale over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale over to the right. Let's do that 3 times. So next time we go over to the left will be our last time. And exhale over to the left. And back to center. Come onto all fours. Hug in your navel. Cat-cow cycle here. Always have a cat-cow cycle in my practice. So Bitliyasan cow, Majliyasan cat. And today, flow through your spine. Bring some energy, some zest to it. So I asked at the beginning for us to dedicate our practice to the moon, the sun, and Venus. And the reason we're inviting in Venus is this is a point known as the Venus star point, when the sun and Venus appear to be kissing in the sky because they're very aligned in that way. So this happens sort of about every 9 months. And we're at that point of the year where we have a Venus star point. So really dropping down into love and healing. Coming into stillness, take a moment here. We're going to move into Anahata, melting heart pose. So come down onto your forearms. Now, keeping your hips aligned with your knees, so they're sort of stacked, Your forearms can be quite close to your body, so you're in a less intense variation of melting heart. You can fold one arm in, so you can fold your right arm in and slide your left arm away, and then bring your eyebrow center to rest on the back of your forearm or onto a pillow or a cushion or a bolster. Or you can have both arms extended so that your eyebrow is resting directly on the earth or on a pillow. So both arms extended feels very intense, especially around the upper shoulders, around the upper back. So come into the variation. And if you've gone into Ardha Anahata, the half melting heart pose, I'll give you a little note when to swap over. Notice where the breath is flowing here. Our mantra for today is Om Prema Hum. Om Prema Hum. Om Prema Hum. I am at one with love. I bask in a universe of love. Om Prema Hum. Om Prema Hum. Om Prema Hum. And you can have your English variation of this mantra. If you have one arm extended and the other one folded, let's fold in the extended arm and then extend the opposite arm. So you might be having your left arm folded this time, right arm extended. And keep connecting with your mantra or affirmation or intention here, whatever it is you wish to seed in this practice. Remember, our themes are around seeking balance by coming into healing through love. So we're nourishing our relationship with our own heart, with our own self. We can also guide this energy to nourish and repair relationships with others. This full moon will shine a light on wherever we feel fracture or fragmentation in relationship. And we often invest in our relationships with others, but rarely think about our relationship with the self. So today is an opportunity, and this full moon is an opportunity. This super moon is an opportunity to really allow the light to shine into your own heart so that you can be true to thy own heart, be true to thyself. One more breath here in Anahata, and we've spent quite a long time in here. So I'm going to invite you to walk your hands back towards you slowly and bring your sit bones towards your heels. Take your arms alongside your body, palms face up, and allow yourself to realign here for a few breaths. And again, maybe you invite balance to your breath, that equal count breath. The length of the inhale and the exhale mirroring each other. Inhale, rise onto your knees. Let's take our knees underneath our hips so they're aligned. Place your right hand in the middle of your mat. Take a moment here. Inhale, draw your left arm up towards the sky. As you exhale, fold your left arm underneath your ear. Right hand can stay where it is, or you can reach up with your right hand. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Inhale, left hand up. Let's flow like this 3 times. Right hand can stay or lift as well in this pattern here. Mindful of your breathing. Moving with your breath. And when you reach your third time, reach up with your left hand. Take a moment there. And then exhale, left hand replaces the right. Inhale, right hand to the sky. And let's flow again 3 times underneath your body. Left hand can rise. So coordinating both sides here to move with your breath. I'm using Ujjayi breath here. Ujjayi breath is that ocean sounding breath that flows at the back of the throat. So you have a slight constriction. The next time you reach up to the right, hold there for a moment, and then let's release your hands both to the earth. Take a moment here. Let's circle the hips one way and the other way. And then perhaps you even take bigger circles. Involve your entire body in this. And then tuck your toes. Let's sit back for a moment. Now, if this doesn't feel comfortable here with your toes tucked, you can keep your toes untucked if yogis wish. Remember, again, you can place cushions at the back of your knees, back of your thighs. You can place a blanket underneath your inside of your ankles or underneath your knees at the front, whatever feels comfortable for you. Let's take a moment here in Vajrasan. Bring your hands to your heart in Garuda Mudra. My hair looks like my brain feels. Let's take a moment here. Inhale, reach behind you and see if you can bring your thumbs, so you can intertwine your thumbs behind you and have this Garuda Mudra that's open at the back. One breath there. And then let's slide that left hand to the right elbow and the right hand to the left elbow. And see if you can draw your shoulder blades closer together by working your fingers further up your arms so that your heart is open. So remember, your hands you can just be reaching behind your back. You can take hold of your wrists, take hold of your elbows, take hold of your upper arms, whatever feels accessible to you here. Drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Inhale, center. Let's drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Inhale, bring your arms back round. Take a moment here. Reach up, look up. So lift your chin here. Create space. Lift your sternum. One more breath here. Your thumbs are hooked here. So by hooking your thumbs, this is more sustainable for you. Only lift your chin as far as feels comfortable for your head. Obviously, if the back of your neck, because your head is quite heavy in proportion to your neck. So think about how much space you need to keep at the back of your head. So sometimes when we reach all the way back with our head, we can feel as if we've got too much weight going back. So you can keep your chin slightly lower. The yogis find what feels comfortable for you. Do not overextend. Exhale, hands to earth. Tuck your toes if they were untucked. And then let's lift up our tailbone and pedal our feet here. Take a moment here in mountain. And then come to stillness. Have a deep bend in your knees if you wish. Heels reaching down. One breath here. Let's walk our hands all the way back towards our feet. Now here, your options, yogis. Hands are on around the back of your ankles. You can wrap your fingers around your big toes, or you can place your hands underneath your feet. So in this forward fold, we can either take our hands to the backs of our legs. Remember, you can see I have a bend in my knees. You can have a bend in your knees, soft or gentle. Hands around the back of your legs, around your big toes, or underneath your feet. And soften with your upper body here. So let's unfurl our spines very slowly. So release your hands, uncurl your spine to rise up one vertebrae at a time. So you come to standing. And then let's quarter turn on our mat, so that you're facing the length of your mat. Again, let's bring your hands into your Garuda Mudra, Eagle Mudra. Take a breath here. Now from here, we're going to move into, so obviously it's the full moon, we're going to connect with our lunar energy, our Chandra Namaskar flow. So we're working across the full length of our mat rather than back and forth. Take a moment here. Let's bend into that left knee and peel the right foot off, peel the right heel off. So we're going to come into Garuda Mudra here, Garudasan. So cross that right leg over the left. You can keep your toes or the ball of that right foot on the earth, or you can wrap that leg around, the right leg around the left leg. Take a moment here, and maybe you bend into your knees and sink low here. Seated eagle. So I'll just move to the middle of the mat so you can see me. Now, if you need to place your hands on your hips for balance, or on a wall, please do that, or on your shoulders for balance, then do that. Otherwise, let's have the Garuda Mudra here. Take a moment. And if you feel ready here, you can begin to lift your hands, rising above your crown. This might take you off balance. Keep grounding down to that left foot. Make micro movements where you need. One more breath here. As you exhale, open out your arms, open out your legs, step across your mat in Uttanasana, star pose. Full breath here. Bend into your knees. Bring your hands back into Garuda Mudra. Devyasana. Connect with your affirmation, your mantra. Aham, Om, Prema Hum. Om, Prema Hum. I bask in universal love. I offer love. I move from a place of love. However you wish to translate that to serve you in this moment. Aham, Om, Prem Aham. I am one with love. Take a moment here. Straighten through your legs. Let's turn the right toes up, turn the left toes in. Open out your arms and exhale into Trikonasana, triangle pose to the right. One full breath here. Turn your gaze down towards your right foot. Place your fingers on the earth either side, or perhaps you rest them on your leg or on blocks. And you might want to turn that left heel out even further. You might want to take your feet wider on the mat. Here we are in pyramid pose. One breath here in Purvottasana. Bring your hands to your heart. In Garuda Mudra, inhale to rise up. Keep rising. Take your gaze overhead. Take your hands overhead. One breath here. Exhale, hands to your heart. Bring your spine into neutral. Take a moment here, and then let's hinge forward from the hips. Crown reaching forward, tailbone reaching back halfway. Inhale to rise. Turn your toes. Bend into your knees. Devyasana. Rise up, open out your arms, turn the left toes, turn the right toes, hinge over to the left, exhale into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Turn your gaze down towards your left foot, bring your right hand down. Maybe you turn that right heel out when moving into pyramid pose. So remember here, you can have a soft bend in that left leg, and your pyramid base can be wide as your mat. When you're ready, let's bring the hands to the heart in Garuda Mudra. Inhale to rise up, reaching up with your gaze, reaching up with your hands so that your body weight shifts onto that right heel. Remember, your pyramid base can be wide. The wider your pyramid base, the more stable you will feel. The narrower your pyramid base, you may feel a bit more wobbly. Om Prema Hum. Om Prema Hum. Om Prema Hum. Exhaling, let's hinge forward, bring your hands to your heart. Crown reaching forward, tailbone reaching back. One more moment. Inhale to neutral. Let's turn the left toes forward, bend into the knees. Devyasana. Open out into Tadasana, star pose. Now we're going to step over to the right, and then we're going to come into Garudasan on the right. So take a moment here, step across, bring your hands to your heart. Now take that left leg over the right knee. Toes can be on the earth, all of the foot can be on the earth, or you can wrap your left toes around your right calf and then lower into Garudasan here. Keep gazing ahead. One more breath here. Inhale, unwrap your leg. Let's step back across the mat. Take a moment here, open out into Tadasana. Let's turn the left toes, let's turn the left toes. Gaze towards the top of the mat, bend into that knee. Coming into Mahavirabadrasana, the great warrior. Hands come to your heart. So bend into that left knee, reach out through that right leg. Garudasan here. Inhale, hands reach up. One breath here. Inhale, exhaling, bring the hands to the inside of that left foot. Shuffle that left foot out. Hands are on the earth or blocks. Turn onto the ball of that right foot. So from Mahavirabadrasana to dragon. Take a moment here. Yogi's choice now, your variation of dragon. That right knee can stay lifted, or you can bring that right knee down to the earth. You can stay on your hands, or you can come down onto your forearms. And if you come onto your forearms, bring your hands into Garuda Mudra. Open one so your palms are facing towards you. So you can be in different places here. 3 breaths here in dragon. Your variation of low flying dragon. And then when you're ready, hands come to the earth. Take a moment here. Let's pivot, pivot, pivot. Onto the ball of your left foot, right leg extended, coming into Skandasana. So your Skandasana here. So remember, your Skandasana could be seated on the earth. So right leg extended, left foot on the earth here. You could be seated on a block here. Another thing that's really helpful here, I'm just going to reach for my blocks so you can see. You can stack your blocks and sit on your blocks or your low footstool. So remember, it's a sensation that we have in our body that we're focusing on, the way that the energy flows, rather than adopting a particularly beatific pose. For me, the beauty is in how we are in relationship and in harmony with our body. That's where the beauty lies. You can also place a block underneath your knee. Sometimes that helps to have a block there to balance you. So those of you who have been here for a while, maybe thinking, stop moving around with the props and let us come out of this pose. So and take your time here to find your balance in with Garuda Mudra. Exhale, let's flow over to the right. Come into Skandasana over on this side. And again, take your blocks with you. Take your time. We'll always spend a bit of time here. Make yourself gathered up where you are into your variation here. And then let's bring our hands down to the earth. When you've felt like you've balanced enough, turn and pivot on your feet, coming into your variation of dragon. Again, that left knee can be on or off the earth, hands or forearms. And if you bring your forearms down, bring your hands into Garuda Mudra. Three full breaths here. And when you're ready, let's come back onto our hands. Shuffle that right foot in. We're going to drop that left heel to the earth and we're going to rise up in warrior 2. Mahavirabhadasana, and then bring your hands to your heart. Bending into that right knee, extending out through that left leg. The hands can stay at the heart or you can reach up with your hands. And you can see I have a bend in my elbows and you can have a bend in your elbows or your arms slightly more extended. The reason I have a bend in my elbows is because I have upper back issues. So I'm limited in how far I can extend my arms without causing discomfort to my upper back and neck. So I see where I am, I see where my body reaches. And then when it reaches that place of comfort, I stop. I respect that boundary. One more breath here. Straighten through that right leg, back into Uttanasana, Devyasana. Take a moment here. I'm going to step back over to the left. So when you're ready, rise up, open out into Uttanasana, and then big step over. And yes, if you want to come into Garudasan on this side, again, bring your right leg over. But remember, we'll have to balance this out. So let's start with the left leg, standing leg. Can reach up. When you're ready, let's unrelease the leg. And I want to take a moment to balance the other side here. So take the left leg up and over the right. And your hands can be wherever you want them. You know, your hands are going to be feeling this. When you stop, you're going to feel like you've done loads of exercise with your hands. You can feel my hands working. So this is why we're engaging with every aspect of our body. So this is where using mudras, so those locks, hand and foot locks, in way that we flow with the energy towards the feet and the hands, can help us to find our place in space, help us to mark out our personal boundaries. One more breath, uncross the legs, hands to the heart, quarter turn again to face the top of your mat. Take a breath here. Inhale, let's reach up. Exhale to fold down towards the earth. And again, bring your hands to the backs of your ankles, backs of your calves. Wrap your peace fingers around your big toes or place your hands underneath your feet. Coming back into this very deep forward fold. One full breath here. And remember, this journey that we're traversing today is towards healing our heart, healing the cracks that we may feel, whether they're imposed by ourselves or whether they're imposed by others. Knowing that those cracks reveal the depths of our character, the stories of our lives, that we can shine a light upon them and heal where we need to heal. One more breath here. And then let's release the hands from underneath the feet. And then let's bend into our knees and walk our hands forward to come back into mountain Padmakasana. One breath here. Come onto the right knee. Extend the left leg long behind you. Bring the right hand underneath your right shoulder and draw your left hand up towards the sky. Exhale, left hand to the earth. Rotate back into mountain. Now we're going to do the same here. Bring the left knee down. Take the right leg long. Inhale, draw the right arm up. Balancing here. If it helps to turn that left foot out, you can always turn that left foot out for more balance. Exhale, right to the earth. Inhale, back into mountain. Take a moment here. Bring both your knees down. Come onto your forearms back into melting heart variation. So your variation of melting heart. Both arms extended, your one arm extended. You can place a pillow or a cushion underneath your eyebrow center or eyebrow center directly on the earth. As you exhale, bring your forearms to the earth. Thread your body through. Does that work? I'm going to have to do a lot of editing today. Oh, dog, don't turn your bum towards me. Sorry. Honestly. There we go. In Salamba Bhujangasana, Sphinx pose. Nice. Obviously, I need to heal my relationships with my doggy. Take a moment here. I'm going to shuffle back so I have a bit more space. Release your eyebrows center to the earth. Take your arms alongside your body. And then turn onto your right ear here. Let's take the Brahmari breath here, the honeybee breath, that buzzing sound breath. So this breath is through softly parted lips. So you can make a buzzing sound. You inhale through your nose and you exhale through your nose, but you make this humming sound. Let's prepare. Take a full breath in through your nose. Exhale, Brahmari. Turn your left ear to the mat and let's do the same on this side. Allow your body to soften while you're here on the mat. Take a full breath in. You should be able to feel the vibration throughout. Now let's turn our head center. Bring your hands alongside your shoulders. What we're going to do here is called a cross your heart pose. So we're going to cross our arms underneath our body. So let's take the cross at the elbow. So take your left hand and cross it over your right arm, or whichever way you wish to go. Actually, I've done my left arm over my right arm. No, done my right. I'm confused. Done my right arm over my left. This is what happens when you cross your arms. So that your arms are crossed at the elbow or above the elbow. This is called cross your heart pose. And I'm going to tuck my chin in because I have a little gap here. You can also place a cushion or something underneath so you can rest your head on a cushion or a pillow. Or you can have it here so your chin is resting on your arms or in that little crook that you've created. This is going to feel really challenging perhaps for some of us. So remember, we don't need to have our arms all the way crossed. We can stay slightly up. So our forearms are lifting us up a little bit more. Or you can come into, so the further away you walk your hands is how intense the pose will feel. So move with care here. And if it feels too much to have both arms, you can cross one arm at a time. Use your hand to support you. I should always give you that option first, really, shouldn't I? We're not here for long. So now coming out of here with care, so lift your head and slide your arms back towards you. And then let's take a moment where we lower our head and perhaps you sort of sway your hips from left to right. Turn onto one ear. This will help to release the tension. And then when you're ready, we're going to cross the other way. So remember which arm was on top. We're going to take the other arm across the body first. So I'm going to take my right arm on the underside this time and left arm the upper side. And again, you can do one arm here as well. So crossing your heart here. And you can always come to really good Garudasan. Hands here as well. Now my shoulders are really feeling this. My upper arms are feeling this. Breathing in. So this is quite a yin-like pose. Remember, with the moon, it's connected to yin energy. This cooling, soothing, nourishing energy. One more breath here. Lifting your head and sliding your arms back with care. Bring your head down towards the earth. Release your arms alongside you. Turn onto one ear. And then shake out your hips. And from
We're going to turn directly onto our back.
Move with care. Bend into your knees, feet on the earth. And let's cross the right leg over the left. And lift your knees in towards you. Now, you can leave your hands on the earth, or you can reach with your hands towards your shins, your ankles, your feet, or your big toes, so that you are drawing in your knees closer together, your knees closer to your heart, and you're using wherever your hands are connected on your legs to bring your legs in, or you can just have them hanging out there, yogi's choice. So this is a reclined variation of shoelace pose. Or Gamakasana, as you may know it, cow face pose. One more breath here. So you can really see how we've been working on balance, we've been crossing over both sides of our body to really think about how one side feels compared to the other, how we can bring them into balance. So our physical practice, our asana practice, reflects the energy that is present with the lunar cycle. One more breath, release your hands. And we're going to move into a supine twist here. So you can keep your knees crossed, or you can uncross them and just cross at the ankles. And let's release the knees over to the left. So the reason if you have your knees crossed, it can feel like quite an intense twist. If you just cross at the ankles, it's less intense. So see where you want to be. You can even double wrap your legs into Garudasan here. Yogi's choice here. Gazing up. You might be coming more onto your left hip. Keep intending that right shoulder down towards the earth. So you have various options with your legs here. You'll either have them crossed at the ankles, crossed at the knee, or double wrapped into Garudasan. You might want to try different variations to see what you prefer. One full breath here. Connecting with that equal count breath, in for a count, out for a count, with the natural pauses at the top and the bottom. Inhaling, let's return to center. Uncross your legs or your ankles. Take a moment, hug both knees in first, and then let's cross the left knee over the right. And again, your option about what you do with your hands, where you take them on your legs, your feet, your toes, coming into Gamakasana legs, shoelace pose here, reclined variation. So this time your right leg is on top of your left leg is on top of your right leg. And my brain needs more practice. Thinking about which relationships that the grievances in which relationships that you want to heal, that you want to come into alignment with, or perhaps you want to end and move on from. One more breath here in Gamakasana, reclined Gamakasana. And so we're going to move into a twist here. So you can stay crossed at the knees, or you can cross at the ankles instead, or you can double wrap your legs. And let's gently release the knees over to the right. intending that left shoulder towards the earth. So this supermoon, Libra and supermoon, when emotions might be amplified. But in that amplification, we can highlight where inner healing can take place, where we can deepen our self-understanding or our understanding of our relationship with others. We can move from a place of vulnerability with compassion. Let go of those repeating cycles that keep playing out for us. Inhale both knees to center. Uncross them and hug your knees in. And then let's extend your legs to come into your Shavasana. Covering yourself with a blanket, eye pillow for your eyes, allowing your feet to fall out, arms away from your body, fingers gently curled. Tuck your chin in ever so slightly to lengthen the back of your neck. We'll be here just for a moment before we rise. And in this moment, sense the equilibrium, the balance that you have come into. Move from a place of love. Feel inspired by that connection. Feel empowered by that connection. When Sun and Venus kiss in the sky above, Chiron, the wounded healer, is also revealed. The wounded healer. Knowing that we all carry wounds, but that we can be healed and move from a place of healing. Those wounds are part of who we are, part of our story. That we no longer need to hide. Move into love. Take a moment here. Inhale, begin to flutter your fingers and toes, and then hug everything in. Come into your, hug everything in, and then roll over onto one side. And then rise very gently to come into your Sukhasana. And when you come into your Sukhasana, let's bring your hands into Garuda Mudra at the heart. Curl everything in, all of your fingers across the thumbs. Fingers are winged out, and then curl them in. One breath here. Inhaling, open your fingers into the wings. Exhaling, curl them in 3 times. Om Prema Hum. Om Prema Hum. Om Prema Hum. Om Prema Hum. Inhaling, coming to Anjali Mudra. Closing our time by chanting Om Shanti 3 times. Shanti for the moon, the sun, and Venus. And all of the qualities that are reflected within us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hands to your eye center. Thank you, my lovely yogis. Thank you so much for joining me today.